Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson, your host here. Excited to be with you today. And today's topic is a little bit different. I know a lot of people are excited about the new year. They're new to the note business. They've been around for a while doing a variety of things. And I discussed this with a couple of investors yesterday. I also discussed this topic with some people when I was down in the Bahamas at the Mr. Landlord event that I talked about yesterday. And it's important to keep this in mind. It's specifically important if you're trying to have any type of success in whatever you're focused on. Now, most people know that one of my favorite books is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill and Sharon Lecter, who co-wrote it after being hidden in a cabinet for 70 plus years, where it talks about how the devil distracts us as entrepreneurs and people. And that's what makes him successful, but it's also what keeps us from finding success because we're constantly drifting, right, everybody? We're drifting. We're getting distracted. We're not focused on things. And everybody struggles with this. Everybody, including me, we all drift, okay? And what you have to realize is the best way for you to really find some clarity, some focus, direction, a compass in your note business is to figure out what are you really focused on? And that's really across the board. It could be a variety of things that you're trying to focus on, but you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get discouraged because you're not going to see a lot of activity or not a lot of success as you move forward in the right direction. You're going to be doing a lot of left steps or side steps or moving from one direction for a little bit and then moving back to a different direction. And I like to call that noise because there's a lot of noise out in the market that can confuse us, that can distract us. And the best thing that you can do is to do away with that noise in a couple of reasons. And first, what we're going to talk about is the noise that we see out there. And we'll talk a little about this. It's literally, I think I see so much freaking noise on Facebook. I literally was on this morning just before jumping on the call to here today with you guys. And I see so much noise, and I see the same people looking at different things. And I don't mean this in a derogatory fashion. The people that are promoting, I'll give you an example. Like I saw my buddy Adam AAA Adams, doing a live stream on his podcast interview this morning, which is great. Good stuff. Welcome to the 21st century, Adam, 2019 to live streaming. He does a great job with what Adam does. All right. The thing you have to keep in mind, though, is I'm seeing people that are on his event. I'm seeing people that were on a Quest IRA event the other day, which is kind of in thing. I see the same people on my thing. They're also on Propelio. They're also over on other things. You can't find success by literally Facebook surfing everybody's live stream. I'm sorry. If it was all notes, I would say one thing. But when it's commercial or your IRA or it's fix and flips or turnkeys and then investing or software, I'm sorry, you're not going to find the type of success that you want to find. The only way to really capitalize on what's going on in the market right now and to help you get to where you want to be later on is if you just cut out the noise and start focusing on one thing. I've had to do that. And I did this a while back. I did this a couple of years ago. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. And I would listen to his Ask Gary V podcast or YouTube series every morning. I'd come in, I got to be in the office for sure and ready to roll by 10 to 11 so I could watch Gary V. And I would start realizing, okay, I'm hearing a lot of the same things over and over again. There's nothing original. And I'm wasting an hour now of my time out of my day by just listening to him, which it had no bearing on where I wanted to be because I found myself doing the things that I needed to get done, which is great. But it was the same stuff that he was sharing on a regular basis. It was very broad, very big strokes, not thin pencil-like stroke, but very roller stroke. It would hit a lot of people. Well, this isn't working for me. This isn't as effective as I thought it would be. I know a lot of us get excited about Gary Vaynerchuk. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to hang out with Gary V? But the thing we have to keep in mind, it's good to get some motivation. It's good to recharge the batteries. It's good to be gung-ho. But you have to realize, how is Gary V affecting your bottom line? Is he helping it? Is he giving you nuggets that you're implementing in your business? Or is he taking, roughly about 5% of your day away? Is he taking an hour out of your time? Is he helping you be focused on things. All right. And that's the thing you look at. Where is your attention? How much are you spending your time on other things? If you talk about watching TV at night or going to a movie, okay, great. If that's a way to recharge, like we went and saw the movie Glass last night. We went and saw the 9:30 thing. I could have gone an earlier one, but what I decided to do last night is I ended up heading down to Quest IRA, Quest Trust Company, and catching a $1 trillion mixer and listening to Mitch Stevens speak and networking with other investors down the neck of the woods. It was a good 2-hour thing. I got out about 8:30, got home. We went to the movie, back by midnight. It was great to spend with Steph. What we have to realize, though, is are we doing a lot of that stuff? Nothing wrong with going out networking. You have to get to the point, though, are you closing business? Are you doing the basic things that you need to do? Because otherwise, we can network ourselves to death and not have anything on the bottom line. And that's kind of the first thing is try to eliminate the distractions. So sometimes you have just to turn off things for a while. Maybe it's turn off your social media, turning off your phone so you can be focused. All right. Turning off your email. Don't look at your email for 2 hours while you're making phone calls. Turn off the distractions and eliminate the distractions. That's part of the reason I have an office. I work much more effective here in the office in 8 hours than I do at home if I was working for 16 hours. There'd be distractions and all sorts of other things. Very easy to do that. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs that struggle with the distractions. They want to sit down and watch Oprah. They want to sit down and watch The View or Ellen or whatever it might be. Good Morning America. There's nothing wrong with taking that in a little bit, but you have to learn to remove the distractions. As I say, remove the noise. Now let's talk about the noise in your note business as well for you. All right. There's also a lot of people, especially this time of year, you see all sorts of different things popping up out there. Everybody's marketing for their workshop, or everybody's trying to be an educator now. This is the thing that kind of boggles my mind. I can't buy any notes, but I'm going to be an educator. All right. And I kind of chuckle that way because that's the sign that the market is oversaturated for a little bit. I won't say oversaturated investors because there's still plenty of deals out there. I got a text message from Logan, one of our mastermind students, who just missed out on buying or finding a 60 asset portfolio of Texas properties from a Dallas bank. It's working out. I see Joe Tomko making offers on like 60 plus assets for $1 million plus in dollars. I've got a couple conference calls later today and tomorrow with some big sellers of some stuff that may revolutionize some of the things that we're focused on. I mean, now we're talking one of the bigger players in the industry looking to sell some assets off. Not a top 5 or 10 bank, but still big enough institution that they're looking to move some stuff. So we're pretty excited about that. The thing you have to keep in mind is that there is a lot of distractions out there. A lot of distractions. Oh, I want to go to Noteworthy Investment Summit, or I want to go to the Distressed Mortgage Expo. I want to go to the workshop that Eric Hyde is hosting in South Bay. Look, there's nothing wrong with going to any of those. Any of those events are going to be fun, fine, fantastic. Come to the virtual workshop, great. We host Valentine's weekend, awesome. Nothing wrong. But what you have to do is kind of reel back in. Do I need to go all 3 of them, or do I need to go to one of them? Or do I need to go to none of them? What's the focus? Who's speaking there? Are the speakers going to add value or add some sort of nuggets to my bottom line? Are they going to show me how to raise capital? Are they going to show me how to find more deals? Or is it just going to be running around shaking hands and having drinks? A glorified social hour. All right. That's the thing I always work at when I look at an event, because I've been asked to speak at quite a few events this year, and I've turned a lot down because they were not the focus of where we wanted to go. Yes, it would have been great to go out to San Diego and hang out at the Noteworthy Investment Summit. When Aaron Holderman emailed me and asked me to be a speaker there, I was like, thank you very much, but I'm going to respectfully decline. Kevin Cordell, who I guess is helping out with that, reached out. Not Kevin Cordell, Kevin Shortle reached out to him. Well, I said, thank you. I'm going to respectfully decline. Mahir Allen. All right. Distressed Mortgage Expert reached out to me and said, hey, we'd love to have you come speak. And I'm like, thank you very much, but I'm going to respectfully decline. Why am I declining speaking events? Well, 2 reasons. 2 reasons. One, I have to maximize my time. That's the first thing. I have to maximize my time. And when I value my time, really valuable. All right. I put mine at $1,000 an hour. That's how I value my time, at $1,000 an hour. All right. That's one of the most important things that you all can do is to value your time. Figure out what you're worth an hour. All right. Figure out what it's worth for you. And for me to fly out to an event to speak for an hour to people that most everybody already knows me there. And this is not bashing any of either one of those events. I was very honored to be invited to speak at both of those. It's just that people aren't showing up. It's not a good lead generating place for me, for investors, for deals, for students. It's not a good lead generating event for me, either of those. And it's not bashing. Hey, if you're brand new and you're in the area, if it's in your backyard, go to it. Seriously, if it's in your backyard, go to it. But if it's going to take time away, like, go to one day out of it. You probably knock everything you need in one day. The thing you want to look at is to make sure, though, you want to maximize your time at those events. Look at the speakers who are speaking. And if they're speaking, or somebody you want to hear speak, like Jillian Sadati, Raising Capital, or something like that, you want to make sure that you carve out that time and maximize that event. Maximize that hour that she's speaking, that you're in there learning nuggets, or if it's Aaron Young or anybody, make sure you're learning, and then you're out doing what you need to do. Make a run by all the vendors, grab business cards, grab contacts, meet as many people as you can. Don't eat alone, show up early, stay late. Those are some of the things that you want to maximize your going. For me, it's not worth me flying out there, spending 3-4 days out of my business, an event, and then come back and not really have any leads that aren't already in our database. Because, hey, we market, I think, better than anybody else does in the note industry. I mean, we've been very honored to have some of our peers reach out to us to help them market. We said yes to some and no to others. The thing you have to keep in mind is what's going to be a true win-win for you. Is it the event going to be a win for you and for the event that's hosting, for you to show up, or is it just a win for them, for you to show up, but not a lot of good content? You have to evaluate that for yourself. And so that's why I look at, like, my calendar over the next couple of weeks. Like, we are literally, we're going to a couple things after our workshop in February. 15th, 16th, and 17th is the next virtual note buying workshop. We then head out to Tampa, and it's worth me spending a night in Tampa and hosting a meetup group with the Tampa Note Closers group on that Wednesday night, the 20th, in Tampa Bay. And I'm going to be at the New Media Summit, which is a podcasting summit for me. I'm one of the icons there. It's worth me being there to get booked on things, because who else, if I get booked on, let's just say 3 other podcasts in the real estate industry, and I'm able to be on their shows for 35, 40 minutes, and it goes out to all of their guests, all of their listeners. That's 1,000 people. Let's say, or just say 500. Well, for 3 that's 1,500 people that I get the word out what I'm doing. That's worth it to me. That's a valuable ad to go out there, spend some time, market my business, and get on somebody else's podcast and market theirs and make it a true win-win across the board. That's where I really see, that's where our focus is really going to be in 2019. We're still going to have the virtual workshops. We're still going to have our note camps. We're still going to have our mastermind and our fast track trainings. But our focus is taken away from going out and speaking at expos to being focused on where we need to do, to go out and find people that don't know who we are, to go face that final frontier. So that's some of the way that we're doing. We're literally eliminating just about everything. I'm speaking at the Quest Expo. I'm speaking at a couple of podcasting events, Lawful and Associates with Aaron Young for the most part, but literally that's about it. I'm not really speaking at a lot of note-specific expos. I'll speak at a few meetup groups across the country, probably 12 to 14 of those this year. But we found the bigger bang for the buck is to leverage our online relationships, our online savviness, and really focus on that and eliminate a lot of the noise. So that's kind of how we have done. Now, you as note investors, you as people out there in the industry, same thing. Maybe you pick 2 or 3 things to listen to. If you like Gary Vaynerchuk, you need that motivation, hey, great. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe listen to the podcast. Maybe you're listening over to Note Inc., Serena Harris, for her show. Whatever it may be, listen to it. But also make sure that time that you're listening is valuable time. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're flying, maybe you're going across the country. It's the time to listen to it. I would not be listening through the day for the most part. I've actually decided, I think I'm going to be moving most of our episodes to the later afternoons a little bit to help us accommodate some things that we're focused on here. The thing that I want you to look at too, let's talk about the third, or really the second factor, besides who you're listening to and who you're attending to and what you're focused on. Actually, that was number 2. The first one is basically figuring out everything what you want to focus on one avenue. If it's notes, focus on notes. If it's hard money or private money, focus on that. If it's wholesaling, just focus on that one thing. All right. Second thing is to clear out the noise that you're listening to. Now, the third thing comes to you in your note business. This is for those that are specifically focused on the note business. As you're getting tapes in, And I talked with 4 or 5 people in the last 48 hours. Okay. And the thing you got to realize is when you get a tape in, and there's different tapes floating around right now. There's probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 different tapes that are floating around from different people. What you have to do, some of it's good, some of it's just crap. All right. And so one of the things is when you get a tape in, especially when it's got 100 or 200, or you've got 400 different assets to look at, the most important thing that you can do is to eliminate the crap. And what do I mean by the crap? Well, if you're focused on 5 states or 5 markets, basically, eliminate the rest of the states. So like I do, what I love to do is when I get a tape in, I eliminate stuff right off the bat. I'll give you an idea. I don't buy New York, New Jersey, so I eliminate those. Anything in Chicago, Cook County, I'd eliminate. Kentucky, I eliminate because they require $1 million bond there. You also may want to look at getting rid of stuff that's low value or low balance. It's like if the UPB is like $5,000 or really under $20,000. Now I look at the payoff. I take it, how many months behind times their P&I payment to figure their total payoff. But if their payoff is really under $25,000, I kind of remove it. If the value of the house falls below $25,000, I immediately eliminate that for the most part. It just doesn't work that way. Now, I'm running online valuations. When you're going to tape in and you're looking at a lot of assets, you buy in a lot of states like we do, you're going to rely on like Zillow, you're going to rely on Note Pros to help you do some due diligence. But the thing to keep in mind is eliminate what you don't want. Literally just delete it off the spreadsheet. You can always go back in your email and download that spreadsheet again. That's pretty simple to do, okay? The thing you want to do, though, is to eliminate all the stuff. Like if there's, like I was talking with somebody yesterday and we were doing a Zoom call, and she kept trying to go back and find out which assets she was at. And I'm like, Liz, you got like way too much on them. Why don't you just delete? Don't hide. Just go ahead and delete the ones you're not looking at. Make it really clean. Make it like 5 lines. If you're going to look at 5 assets, let's just look at those 5 assets. And then let's go through and look at those columns and whether it's performing or non-performing. If you're looking for just performing and you get a tape in of performing and non-performing, and you just want to use your own funds and make a 12 to 15% yield, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great rate of return on performing notes. And then what I would do is I would eliminate all the non-performing. All right. I also like, one of the things I look at is if it's occupied or vacant. I'll eliminate the vacant assets. So the more that you can eliminate the assets, that's literally cutting out the noise and the distractions. Now, if you cut things down, you're doing your due diligence, and you realize, well, there's not any assets on here, I'm only going to look at 2. Maybe you need to expand your horizons or spread it out a little bit. Maybe your focus is way too tight, right? Take it out a little bit. Change up the market. See what's available. And that's really the easiest ways to help you, because literally if you start looking at every asset, and I have seen this happen to a lot of realtors and a lot of investors that come over the note space, is the noise that kicks in when you're looking at too many assets. There's a lot of noise that kicks in when you're confused, you're overwhelmed. And the idea is, okay, let's underwhelm you and just focus on a few assets. Let's work through those. Let's make a few offers, especially if they've given you pricing points. Let's make a few offers. Let's work through 1 or 2 and go from there. If you're trying to overdo it and make 10 to 100 offers, trying to eat the whole elephant in one bite, then that's where you're going to get the most confused. That's where you're going to struggle with the most. You're also going to get frustrated because you may not be as organized as you need to be initially. If you're brand new, let's focus on getting 1, 2, 3 deals closed. That means making somewhere around 5 to 10 offers. If you're only going to see about a 10% acceptance ratio, that's fine. Don't worry. Oh my gosh, I overbid the first time. All right, so go back and fade your bid down. If their value shows 70 and you find it to be 35, that's okay. Just fade it down a little bit. Not going to hurt you to do that. But that's what I really want you guys to really focus on. I think it's a valuable aspect to think about is eliminating the noise in your business. You'll be a lot more focused. You'll be a lot happier. If you can find your focus and tune it down to a tighter business or tighter actions, you'll be happier. You'll also find yourself getting more stuff done because you're now not wasting 80% of your energy on things that aren't income producing. You're focused 80% of your time on income producing, and only 20% on non-income producing. And that's in that way alone, that ratio is a 4 to 1 now, if you can focus. So now you're making a lot more money, or you've seen a lot more focus take place when you have that focus to eliminate the non-performing stuff or the I should say the non-opportunity items in your day, whether it's A, you're running all over the place, listening to everybody, you need to narrow that focus down. 2, you really focus your schedule, your time, your commitments on where you're going, especially if you're working full time and you've got to get time off. You really have to focus on where you want to be and look at the calendar. Look what's going on. You know, maybe you just attend stuff in your backyard. Maybe you're going to, I don't have time the next quarter, but I've got some time off starting in April. Then maybe you're looking at going to the Paper Source convention at that point. I mean, the beautiful thing of why we started doing our events online is we saw our attendance skyrocket because the fact that people didn't really have to take time off from work for the most part. They could stay home. They could work their job on Friday, only miss a couple hours and be able to jump in and catch the replays immediately. And so that's what you have to realize, everybody. Look at your schedule, look at what you're doing, look at your day-to-day activities, and then really focus down on what you need to get done. And if a great tool to help you out with some things is just literally time map out your day. What did you focus on? Do it in like every 30-minute increments, or if you need to, every 15 throughout your day. That's one of the things that when I was a banker that they taught us to do. Okay, what did you do this 30 minutes? What did you do these 30 minutes? Where did you make phone calls? And let's look at your day, because I guarantee a lot of us have big, gaping Swiss cheese holes in our day that we could fill with a lot more productive items. So if you need to pull out the noise canceling headphones to get stuff done, do so. You need to turn things off. If you need to turn off your Facebook and not watch me live, hey, if you're going to be going out and making things happen, great. You need to turn off your cell phone for a while you're working through things. That's fine. I guarantee if you do this, you'll be a lot happier and also a lot more focused and also a lot more productive. And that's the thing that we all want. We want to make more money. We want to not spend time on stuff that's not producing. And we also want to close more deals and ultimately make more money along the way. So if there are any comments out there for Facebook, everybody, I'm pulling it up here. Hey, Matthew Hill. Hey, Brandon Zager. Good to see you guys. Hey, John Shipley. Hey, Casey Lang, Todd LaPierre. It's good to see a lot of you guys out there watching me this morning live on Facebook. If you're listening to this on iTunes, Stitcher, or any other our podcast platforms, thank you as always. Make sure you go on over and hit subscribe and leave me a 5-star review if you would not mind. We'd really appreciate that. As always, guys, you can always find out more information on some of our upcoming trainings and things like that at our main website, where you can always download every episode of the Note Closers Show and listen to that along with every episode of the Note Night in America, etc., at weclosenotes.com. So if there aren't any other questions, don't make noise. I'll tell you this, that you've heard the Russian proverb, he who chases 2 rabbits catches none. Make sure you focus on the one rabbit and you chase it. Once you've caught that, then you go and chase another rabbit. But don't get in the habit of trying to chase too many at the same time, because you won't catch them and you'll end up just hungry and confused and battered at the very end. So go out and make something happen, everybody. And if there's no comments or questions on Facebook Live, as always, thanks for listening. Feel free to hit share if you're watching this on Facebook Live. Thank you for watching this on YouTube. Make sure you hit like to it and leave me a comment. Love to know where you are watching this at. Otherwise, go out and make something happen, everybody, and we'll see you all at the top.